Hey guys, Sko here. So tonight I finally got around to trying out Warrior on the 7.1.5 PTR build, and there's been a lot of changes to the class. So I've definitely been keen to obviously get onto this PTR and see how they may affect me in terms of rating. It is worth noting that Blizzard have stated that the current PTR build is a work in progress, and there may be more changes coming. And to be honest, let me just say, I hope there are more changes coming. This video is my opinion as of the 1st of December, just in case, there's some subsequent builds. And my following remarks are based on testing the class against sparring dummies in the Skyhold, and also raiding the first 4 bosses of Nighthold on Heroic with the guild. So basically, where to start, guys? Let me talk about the talent tree. For the most part, the talents are pretty standard here. You've got Shockwaver, you've got Warbringer, most minor differences. You're still going to take Inspiring Presence. Here, yes, you have some options. When it comes to raiding, Renewed Fury will give you a constant uptime with that 10% extra damage almost, because of the amount of ignore pain that you go through. Avatar may also be an option. Best Served Cold, most likely you can leave that for Mythic Dungeons. On this line, you still go for Binding Strike. Let's just skip to the last 2 lines. On this line, Vengeance is still the go-to talent. It's almost essential to play Prot Warrior. And on the bottom line, you still have Heavy Repercussions. Ravager and Anger Management are relatively uninteresting talents. Again, like I said, focus on raiding here, guys. So there's this one last line, guys, and this is where most of the conversation around Prot Warriors right now is sitting. So basically, the standard go-to talent up until now was Indomitable, which increased your maximum health by 25% and the maximum effective ignore pain by 25%. However, Blizzard have added an interesting talent onto this line now called Devastator, which basically replaces your Devastate. Your auto attacks deal an additional physical damage. They generate 5 rage and have a 30% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on a shield slam. So basically, it just replaces your auto attack with a Devastate, automatically. So you don't even need to press Devastate anymore. Now, so basically, the discussion that's going on a lot at the moment, guys, is what's better, Devastator or Indomitable? And my findings, like I said, after doing the sparring dummies tonight, also the raiding with the first 4 bosses in Nighthold, DPS using the Devastator talent is about 25% higher over a 3-minute fight. I was doing about 270, 280k with my current gear versus 215, 220k with the Indomitable talent. Rage gains were also approximately 50% higher against the sparring dummies. Now, obviously, that number is considerably higher than what it would be if we were in a raiding scenario, guys, because obviously more rage is going to come from the boss hitting you than, for example, a sparring dummy hitting you, right? But it is worth noting out that you are going to get considerably more rage. You're going to generate more rage yourself using Devastator, because, you're getting the 5 rage every attack you do, and you're also going to get yourself some more shield slams, because every attack you do is a Devastate. Every auto attack you do is effectively a Devastate. So let me just talk about shield slams briefly, guys. Shield slam, I found that over a 3-minute fight again, I gained about 3 to 5 more shield slams using the Devastator talent. Approximately about 1 to 2 extra shield slams per minute. Now, you'd obviously expect this to maybe be a little bit higher, considering all your auto attacks are Devastate. But it's just the way that the shield slam kind of lines up with every other ability you've got. Like a shield slam might come off when you've already got the global cooldown locked down, if you understand what I mean. Roughly, after testing it a bit, guys, it was roughly about 1 to 2 more shield slams per minute, which isn't that much, but it's obviously still nice for DPS and also for rage gain, self-rage generation. I must also point out, guys, that I found using my Warrior Legendary Gloves, which does the following: Devastate increases the damage done and rage generated by your next shield slam or thunderclap by 20%. Obviously, with the Devastator talent, guys, the uptime on the Legendary Gloves was basically 100%, yeah? You're almost guaranteed that every single shield slam or thunderclap that you do is going to be applied the 20% extra rage, or 20% extra damage, which is nice for sure. There's good synergy between these gloves, and the Devastator talent. I must say that, like, from my experience with the Nighthold raiding tonight, guys, we did 4 bosses on Heroic, that Neltharion's Fury felt even more useless in most cases than it does on live. Like, on live, I already don't find myself using Neltharion's Fury very often in a raiding scenario. But, guys, on the PTR, in Nighthold, with just the way that the warrior works now with the revenge and such, Neltharion's Fury feels even more useless. It's really not in a good place right now. I don't like Neltharion's Fury. I really hope that Blizzard take a look at the current warrior rotation and maybe, you know, do some kind of adjustment there, because I don't feel as if it has a really good place in raiding right now. It just doesn't really fit into the rotation, in my opinion, from my own playing experience. So basically, guys, like I said, 25% higher damage-wise with Devastator. Honestly, even though there's a lot to lose by not taking Indomitable, you know that 25% extra HP is obviously pretty big. If the patch was to go live tomorrow, I think I would find a way to take Devastator, and that is in some ways it's a little bit sad, guys, because no Focus Rage anymore, no Devastate. Warrior basically loses 2 key bindings. The class has been quite largely pruned by taking Devastate. The Devastator talent, and right now it is probably the strongest talent on this line from my experience. The extra rage you self-generate and the extra shield slams you get and the extra DPS, for me, in many ways they counteract the extra ignore pain and maximum health you generate from Indomitable. Let me just go into that a little bit more in a second, but basically, how do I feel about the warrior changes overall? Right now in the PTR, guys, I'm going to tell you that for raiding, I am not happy with the changes. Basically, the changes that have come into play for the warrior on the PTR right now is mainly to do with increasing our AoE damage. So while that might be good for Mythic Plus and for clearing trash inside raids, it really is not useful for warriors when obviously tanking bosses, for example, inside raids. So basically, I find that Prot Warrior damage on the live servers right now, in a raiding scenario, is actually in a really good place. Normally, with my current gear, I'm at 890 item level, I'm sitting around 250, 300k DPS. You can see my Ursoc video, for example, on the channel. That's obviously a high level example of like around 300k DPS from Prot Warrior. But just in general, guys, like even on progress fights, like when we killed Helya a couple of weeks ago, what Prot Warrior DPS is good. It's very competitive, I would say, with other tanks right now. So I already feel like Prot Warrior DPS inside raids is in a good place. And basically, with the current PTR build, guys, with Devastator as a talent, yes, it's possible to do around the same as what you can currently do on live. Maybe you can even do slightly more. But in order to do so, with all the other changes that's happened to Warrior on the PTR right now, you really do have to sacrifice a lot, guys. Like, basically, to maintain the DPS, you need to pick Devastator over Indomitable, which means you're going to lose the Ignore Pain, you're going to lose the 25% HP, and the loss of, let me just say, guys, the loss of 25 HP, obviously in a progress raiding scenario, is pretty huge. But that's not even the main problem right now. So DPS talk aside, the biggest change that I noticed in gameplay, guys, and it really isn't something that's good, is that the way that the Vengeance talent now works. Which, like I said earlier, the Vengeance talent is literally essential for Prot Warriors, I feel, in my opinion. I couldn't even think about playing a Prot Warrior without having the Vengeance talent. The way that the Vengeance talent works, though, guys, is drastically different than it was before. The reason why is because Focus Rage has been removed, and more importantly, guys, Ultimatum has also been removed. So instead, they basically redesigned Revenge, which is going to take the place of Focus Rage. Now, there's one huge problem here, guys, and that is that Focus Rage was not on global cooldown, and Revenge is on global cooldown. Previously, we could cycle between Focus Rage and Ignore Pain freely outside of standard rotation, But now we need to actually time a global cooldown to use Revenge in conjunction with Vengeance. And I can tell you, guys, that this is a big nerf to Warrior Survivability. For those of you guys who have tried this out in the PTR, or you guys have been raiding maybe some higher level mythic progress, you'll probably understand what I mean when I say that. But basically, the gameplay is a lot slower, and our ability to react to life-threatening situations is a lot worse. No more can you do that clutch focus rage into ignore pain, save the day moment. Like, just trust me, guys. Like, this is the biggest thing I noticed, especially when raiding in the Nighthold tonight. Like, honestly, the fact that we've got Revenge on global cooldown and focus rage was not on global cooldown. Trust me, guys, it's bad. It's not good. And I really hope Blizzard look into that. There's also another thing that came to mind actually when I was raiding tonight. Guys, it's sad news for our Shatter the Bones relics. Like previously, Shatter the Bones, the relic which increases the critical strike chance of shield slam by 5% each trait. This used to be the best by far, in my opinion, relic for warriors to get. Best in slot from both a DPS and a survivability point of view. Because basically, in the past, more shield slam crits meant more ultimatum procs, which meant more free focus rage, which meant more cycles to ignore pain on the Vengeance, which therefore, you guys, increase your survivability. And obviously a DPS with more ultimatums and more focus rage. With ultimatum gone, this relic is now purely a DPS relic, which, yeah, guys, it's a little bit, I guess, upsetting that the best relic is now, not going to be the best relic anymore for progress rating. So, I guess the short version, guys, is I'm not really that positive about the changes currently on the PTR when it comes to warriors. I feel as if our single target damage, if you pick Devastator, will be about the same. I feel, but in order to pick this talent, you need to lose Indomitable, which is obviously pretty big when it comes to progress rating. At the same time, I feel as if our survivability is taking an additional hit because of the way that the Vengeance talent now works with Revenge instead of Focus Rage and the whole global cooldown thing. So basically there's that, and in exchange, guys, basically Warrior has had a buff to AoE damage, which has very, very little impact on raiding. So overall, I would say that Warrior right now is sitting here looking worse than it is on live. In my opinion, it's I really hope that Blizzard does something in regards to changing this, because otherwise I might have to make sure that my Guardian Druid is ready for Nighthold. I mean, I know that Blizzard have said that the PTR is currently a work in progress, but Nighthold is not that far away, guys. It's less than 2 months away. And all I can say right now is that when it comes to Protection Warrior on the PTR, I'm left with a lot of doubts. Whereas, for example, Guardian Druid has had very little changes and, in my opinion, was already the strongest tank in the game. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts. I know this is quite a rough video, but I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys because a lot of you guys are asking all the time as to what I think about Warrior on the PTR right now. So let me know down below if you agree or disagree in the comments. And thanks for watching, guys. See you on stream.
I love how she dancing, got me feeling for you. You say that you love me, I don't know if it's true. When I go to sleep, all I ever